Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is it. This is the big one. Manchester United versus Leeds in pre-season. We've got loads to talk about, new signings and all sorts. Joining me as always is Mr. Joe Smith. This preview is brought to you by Betfred, United's official betting partner. Joe. Mbumo, done. Cunha, done. Leeds, we're going to do them. Yeah, man.
They're done. Consider them done. This is happening. Football is back.
It is back.
Proper football. None of this Club World Cup nonsense. None of this Europa League nonsense. This is the good stuff. Man United versus Leeds in Sweden. Not truly fair because Sweden and the Leeds badge have both got the same colours. I don't know if that will help them, but we're going to overcome that. And there's so much to talk about. Look at this face.
Let's not forget. How many clubs playing have won a European trophy in Stockholm out of the two clubs that are playing?
Certainly one of them. And
exactly.
I couldn't tell you about Leeds. We have. Come on.
There, advantage Manchester United. We'll get into Leeds in a minute. First of all, though, I want to talk about
this guy right here.
A little man called Matheus Cunha, a very good-looking man, by the way.
Yeah.
We're expecting him to make his debut. We'll be getting to predicted 11s in a minute. It feels almost like there's been a bit of a, I won't say a backlash, but almost like people have just had enough or ignored Cunha, I should say.
Yeah.
Because all the focus has been on Mbumo. It's like when United have posted about Cunha, people are going, we talk about info, we don't know about Mbumo. Cunha is mint.
Cunha is
that is my family motto.
He is. Yeah. This is like, because what happens sometimes, I like to play Xbox games occasionally. Sometimes you'll buy a game, and then a game that you're looking forward to even more comes out about 3 weeks later, and you buy that one. You didn't even play the first one yet.
Right, okay.
Still in the wrapper.
Like
Cunha's still in the wrapper, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's still in the cellophane. And my God, is it our job to unpeel that guy. Honestly, I'm so excited for him. He was Wolves' best player last season. I think he was one of the best players in his position in the league last year. I think he's fantastic.
Yep.
And I think if you can bring, it's not going to be direct translation, what he did last year, exactly the same this year. He's going to have to find his feet a little bit. The fact he's already had 2 weeks of training, it'll be 3 by the time we go over to America. The fact that, you know, he's in a position that we're so struggling in. And you look at the players, all of the players who are for sale at Manchester United, except Tyrell Malacia, play in his position.
Yeah.
We're literally selling 4 wingers/10s this summer. He's so needed and so important. Now you add Mbumo in there as well, that deal is confirmed, and they won't play tomorrow. But I just think that to see Cunha play for Manchester United is going to be absolutely excellent. The way he carries the ball, his intelligence, his ball striking, especially from long range, is absolutely fantastic. He finds other players very well as well. He's underrated a little bit in terms of creativity. I think he's an excellent player, and I'm just really, really excited to see this game and see him play.
I think he's probably the best Brazilian attacker ever. I can't think of anyone who's better.
Well, who
has the bin
number
two?
Who's
Been better than
probably
him?
Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah,
that's the second best I've ever had.
Yeah. Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah.
So, Anderson, but he's more of a midfielder, wasn't he?
And then even thinking around Europe, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
No one.
Can't think of anyone.
Cunha is
he's
the best.
Number one.
The bestest
all time.
I'm going to pretend, right, that this isn't just the first game of pre-season.
It's not.
I'm going to pretend this is Ruben Amorim's first game.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Last season didn't count.
No.
He said, I don't want to come in the middle of the season, I'll come at the end. And he said, no, you come in now. And he inherited a mess and he had to deal with it. Sorry,
How often do you shout that at people you don't know?
At least twice a day.
At the bus stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that as an approach, you know.
Yeah.
And in my head...
Windy pops.
I felt like I was crying. And in my head, this is a clean slate for Amorim.
Yes.
Obviously, if we just finish 15th, that'll be the end of him. So I'm not acting like nothing ever matters ever.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't want to count what happened last season against him at all. He came in a horrific situation, off the pitch, on the pitch, big name, big wages, big players who needed to leave, a whole new system with no players bought for that system. And the only one we have bought is Dorgu, and I think he's been very good. I think the Amorim era starts now, and I'm not going to bring up last season when I talk about Ruben Amorim. I'm talking about what happens from now on. Full pre-season, players that he needs, players that he wants, a bit of momentum to start the year with. He had no momentum. He had negative momentum from Ten Hag being sacked. I think that this is, like you said, the start of the Ruben Amorim era for me, and I'm really excited.
You nailed it when you said, I love Ruud van Nistelrooy, and this isn't a criticism of him, but he stole Ruben Amorim's new manager bounce. The new manager bounce came for Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Unbelievable.
And then by the time Amorim came in, it was over.
Yeah.
It was like we drew with Ipswich, and that was on. That's the end of that then.
That's the end of that.
So, with all that being said, let's get into predicted 11s. Now, in terms of the goalkeeper, we don't know who is going to start. We don't know if it's going to be Andre. Well, we do know it's not going to be Andre Onana. Yep. We don't know if it's going to be Ali Bayandé. We don't know if it's going to be Tom Heaton. We don't know if it is going to be Radek Vitek. And there's been some rumblings, rumours, reports it could be. So I've gone with him as my goalkeeper. A bit of a shot in the dark, but you never know. Back three, we know it's going to be a 3-4-2-1, by the way. If you don't know that, then you've obviously never watched Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. I've got Lenny Yoro, Harry Maguire and Nuzer Mazraoui.
Interesting.
A lot of those played the fit and also this pre-season, so it might mix it up a little bit. Don't be surprised if you see a couple of youngsters in there, but I've gone with that back three for now. As wing backs, I've got Diogo Dalot, who's now got the number 2, of course, Patrick Dorgu, and in midfield I've got Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo. Then in one of the 10s, because we have 2 10s under Ruben Amorim, I've got the greatest Brazilian ever in Matheus Cunha and Amad, no longer Amad Diallo, of course, just Amad. And leading line, I've gone with Rasmus Højlund. He could do with a good pre-season if he is going to stay at Manchester United. He looks touch and go wherever he is. He needs a bit of a confidence boost, and hopefully, you know, a few goals against Leeds will do that.
Yeah, I like that team. It's not dissimilar to my team, actually. Different midfield, but Cunha, Amad, Højlund I like. But obviously, like you said, there's always that chance that there's 6 or 7 changes with it being pre-season.
So, as I mentioned earlier, this preview is brought to you by Betfred, Manchester United's official bet partner. Now, we have got our own bet builders. Oof. We've chatted to the chaps at Betfred and they've let us do our own bet builders. So you've got Joe's bet builder with odds of 5-1, and you've got United to win odds. Both teams to score and Cunha to score. Yeah. So before I get to your predicted 11, I'm guessing that you've got Cunha in there.
Yes.
Otherwise, that would be, you know, odd, but not odds.
I think with these things, I know it's not a proper debut, it's a friendly, but people want to impress on the debut.
They do.
And especially with him, he's someone that takes shots from long range. I think he's a good chance of scoring in this one. I also think it's going to be relatively high scoring. Yep. Both teams know that even though it's a friendly, you don't want to lose. Neither team wants to lose this, and Leeds coming back up as well. They want to show that they're Premier League ready. I think both teams to score. I think we'll edge it out, but like I said, this guy, I see him popping one in the back of the net.
I want to see Leeds fans having that meltdown like they did in one of the greatest YouTube clips ever, where that guy completely lost his mind to the point where he's missing out to close the laptop. That was phenomenal. I love that so much. My bet builder isn't that dissimilar. I've got United to win, obviously. I've also got both teams to score. I've got over 5 goals.
Oh, I like that.
We love loads of goals when United face Leeds, and it's usually us battering them, but they usually get a goal as well. We've had a 5-1, we've had a 6-2. I think it could be something like that, even though this is a friendly. I've also gone for 30 booking points. I think there'll be a few yellow cards here, because there's always a bit of ag.
Yeah,
when it's Leeds versus United,
even though it's not a proper
Leeds
game, it still counts. And yours is at 12-1.
Mine's 12-1.
Mine's
so
5-1.
So slightly longer odds. Obviously, one extra choice in mind. Get involved in that. We do have our own section on the Betfred website, our own little Stretford Paddock Bet Builder section. There's a link in the description. Go and click on that and you can find mine and Joe's bet builders and get involved in it. So remember, if you're betting, you do it with Betfred, proud sponsors of Manchester United. You must be 18 plus. Be gamble aware. Joseph.
Yes.
Let's talk about your predicted 11. Yeah? We've had the accurate one, mine. Let's see what you've gone with.
Well, you know what? They're very similar. And like I said before, I've got Cunha to score, so he's obviously in the team, as you can see there. I've gone Tom Heaton in goal. Let the kid have a run out. Let the kid have a run out, man.
Yeah.
And I've gone with, we spoke to Carl Anka, and it's not quite exactly what he said, but I've gone with what he thinks could be United's starting back three next season. So I've gone with De Ligt on the right, Maguire in the middle, Yoro on the left. I think Yoro going over to that side later in the season. We saw him push up, getting the ball, winning it higher up the pitch. I think that works. Then I've gone with a very similar midfield to you, or sort of defence slash midfield, however you want to call it. I think it's Dalot and Dorgu, but I think it's going to be Ugarte with Fernandes, not Mainoo, the way you've gone. I think someone in there to win the ball back a little bit. I think that's important, especially if Fernandes is going to drop a bit deeper. But that front three, exactly the same. Cunha, Højlund, Amad. I love the pressing, the sort of delicate direction of Amad. I like that ball carrying of Cunha and the striking, especially from range. And I think both of those players, they, instead of their eyes being like this, in the sort of sense of Garnacho and Rashford at times, their eyes are like this. They are looking for their teammates just a little bit more, which I think works in that number 10, and hopefully Højlund can capitalise on that. But yeah, I like that as a lineup, and it's very similar to yours as well, isn't it?
It's a strong team. We've both gone with relatively strong teams. You don't often see that in pre-season. We're probably going to be wrong on some fronts.
I think, first of all, there's going to be loads of subs. There always is. But secondly, because there's been so much sort of frustrating PR around Man United at the minute, the public response to how long this Mbeumo deal is dragged out, I think the manager will think, you know what, let's give them something to watch here. Everyone else has been winning 50, 60, 80 million quid at the Club World Cup. Let's actually give these fans something enjoyable. New signings in, full strength team, get everyone back. I'm expecting a strong lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, I get your point. And like you say, subs, we go sub crazy, don't we?
Yeah.
And we can bring on all the children when we're 7-0 up. Yeah, let's do it that way. I like that. Don't forget as well, we want your score predictions. Yeah. Get your phone out, film yourself, done it the right way around, in that way, in landscape, for about 30 seconds. Give us your score predictions and send it to paddockmatchday@gmail.com, and we'll use that as part of the pre-match build-up. So you can join me and Joseph on the watch-along. Let's talk about Leeds United. Obviously, they're in the Championship last season, where they belong, winning loads of games, but it's the Championship.
Forget it.
Different story when they come up. Looking at this Leeds side, looking at what they've done in the Championship, looking at the fact that they have spent money, do you think that they can do bits in the Premier League? Do you think they can survive? Because most teams that come up go straight back down, and Leeds are obviously a bit of a yo-yo team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, statistically at this point, you'd probably say no.
Yep.
Just because it is hard to stay up. I think Sunderland as well have spent like 100 million quid already.
Yeah.
So they're going for it, and I think you have to do that. I know Leeds have got a couple of signings, but I don't think they've gone quite as big as Sunderland have. But they did stay up for a couple of years last time, didn't they? They weren't straight up and down. I know they didn't last too long, but they did manage to stave off that initial just sort of rebound relegation. So we'll see. I don't know.
Do you want Leeds to stay
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm on the line of, I think we should be playing Leeds every year.
Right, okay.
I'm not saying I celebrate if they stay up last game of the season. I'm happy to revel in a relegation. But there's certain teams where I think you want to be playing them. And for me, Leeds is one of them. What do you think? Are you the same?
I like playing them every other year, so I'd like it if they were just a yo-yo club. Yeah? Come up every now and again, get battered and go back down. I quite like it that way. So I do like playing Leeds, especially the fact that our record against them over the last few years has been very good. But I hate them enough to want them to have some misery.
See them get relegated as well.
Have some misery in your life,
I love that.
And then come back up. With all that being said then, Joseph, give me your score prediction.
My score prediction, I think I'm not quite as confident as you with the over 5 goals, but I do think we're going to win, and I do think there will be goals. I'm going to say 3-1 Manchester United. I think Cunha gets a goal. I think Bruno gets one, and I actually think Cunha's going to bring out the best in Bruno. A little friendly, gentle competition, and I think the same with Mbeumo when he arrives. Bruno actually going, you know what? Yes, you're good, you guys are great, 70 million, whatever. I'm the main man at Manchester United. And not in a bringing the worst out of each other, but just let's all step up and show everyone what we can do. So I'm going to go 3-1 Man United, Bruno, Cunha, and Højlund to score. What are you saying?
Wow. I think we'll batter him. Honestly.
Go on, son.
I think this is going to be like one of the most one-sided friendly games you've ever seen. It's going to be like when Ajax play one of them non-league teams.
Yeah, it's like 60, 65 minutes.
What's that?
Yeah, and everyone's just crying.
Crazy. I watched it once. It was online, I watched it. And it was just like, it was like basketball.
Yeah.
It was like, basketball, like just basket after basket. It was like that. It was just like, goal, kick off, took the ball off him, scored. I was like, what is this? Why have either of these teams agreed to this? But apparently it's like a tradition.
Financial tradition.
Yeah, they've sort of got this deal with him where they do it every year.
That.
And it was just like relentless. I was like, just stop scoring against them.
One of them?
Yeah.
Endless goals against the Premier League opposition.
I'll go. I said it'll be both teams to score, so I'll go 6-1 to Manchester United.
What?
Yeah, why not?
Jay, we scored 13 goals in all competitions last season.
Did we have Matheus Cunha playing for us last season?
Shit, we didn't.
Well, there you go then. The best Brazilian ever. Get a grip. There is a link in the description to mine and Joseph's Bet Builder. Yeah. So you can click on that. It's got its own little section, Stretford Paddock section on the Betfred website. So go and check that out. Betfred, proud sponsor of Manchester United. You must be 18 plus. Be gamble aware. So go and check out that link in the description. Me and Joe are going to be back for the watch along. Me,
Scotty
you, and my boy Scotty. So make sure you join us for that. Don't forget as well to send in your score predictions. That's been Joe Smith. I've been Jay Marty. This has been Football is Back. This has been the Leeds United preview. Yes. Thanks for watching.
Yes.